everyone, it's Misty here from TheJollyFatElf. Thank you so much for joining me. In today's video, I have another card in my 2022 holiday card series. In today's video, I am participating in an MFT Sketch challenge. So MFT does a sketch challenge every Wednesday, and you have a chance to enter a card to win, I think it's $50 gift certificate. And they don't even make you use MFT product, you just have to follow the sketch, loosely follow the sketch. So I picked up this, I believe it's Berry Hug stamp set last year after the season because it was out of stock for forever. And I knew that I wanted to color it up. And you guys, I am obsessed with this card, and these little tiny baby penguins are just so flippin' cute. So if you're new here, hi, Misty. I have been posting a holiday card every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday since the Wednesday after Labor Day here in the States, and will continue to do so until Christmas Eve when Santa comes, or when Jesus is born, or both, whatever you celebrate. If you don't celebrate either of those, you will be seeing some Kwanzaa and Hanukkah, etc. There are, isn't it like 50 holidays in this time of year for people all over the world? So yeah, anywho, I'm trying to be as inclusive as I can, so bear with me. But anyway, if you haven't already, I hope you'll consider subscribing, and be sure to subscribe and turn on your post notifications. I am uploading a video every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. That's card making, and I will be posting more planner content. I've actually filmed 3 plan with me's and haven't liked any of them, so we're gonna try again. And hopefully this one will get posted. And my planning content will go up on the weekends. I do pan makeup, which means you use the makeup up to completion or hitting pan. And you can find that channel in the description box down below, along with a link to my Etsy shop. This card will be up at some point. So yeah. All right, without any further ado, let's head over to the craft table and I'll walk you through this. So I am breaking out the stamp set, and then I'm going to pull up the sketch. So as you can see here, there's a small focal panel in the middle of the card, and then there's 3 little accents around it. So I knew that I wanted to stamp the bears that have the penguins with them, and I knew I wanted to stamp the 3 little penguins. And then so I knew that I wanted to create a scene card. So initially I cut this out of white and thought that I would do like some ink blending, and I cut out some clouds and some snowdrifts, and then I was like, I don't care for this at all. So I found this paper pad, and I found this blue pattern that looks like snowfall at night. So this is kind of how I set the scene for my card. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in one of the plaids from MFT, and because I knew that I wanted a plaid background, I wanted this to be somewhat traditional, but with navy as my neutral rather than brown or something like that. Now I will add brown, of course, to the bears because I wanted them to be brown bears and not polar bears. So yeah, but that's kind of how I got the palette for this card. And initially I wasn't sure if I was going to use the pink and make this more pastel, or if I was going to use the blue. And once I pulled out this paper pad, I was like, oh, we have to go with the blue. So I think I own almost all of the plaid pads from MFT. There may be a couple of new ones that I don't have. But every time I put them in my cart, I'm like, Misty, you do not need any more plaid paper. And I don't think I've had an opportunity to tell you. Maybe I have, I don't remember. But I was invited back to the Scrapbook Pal design team. So my first project is going to be using some of the new stuff from Sizzix and Tim Holt. And one of those things is that plaid background die that he released. And I cannot wait. Cannot wait to get that here so I can create. I cannot wait so I'm not late for a very important date. Okay, so this paper is really thin, and since this is actually going to be the actual panel for the card, I decided to go ahead and cut it out using just cut it out with braid. A paper trimmer, and then I'm going to attach the white paper, and then I'm going to cut this out with a die. Whew, that was a hard way to get there, but we got there in the end. So I just really love how this really sets a scene. This sets a nighttime scene so perfectly. Now I have a Gemini Junior, so it is an electronic cutting machine. And when I double up like this, I try to run it through at least twice. Sometimes it may take a little bit more than that, but it will eventually cut through. So I'm going to run that through my machine. And then I'm going to bring in the largest stitch rectangle, and these are from Pink and Main, and I'm going to cut out the plaid, and that is going to be the main layer for the card, and then we'll have the snowfall panel for the cute little bears. So I decided that I wanted snowdrifts, and I want the snowdrifts to line up with the stitching. So I used the rectangle that I cut out earlier, and these are the snowdrifts from the outside the box, inside the box. What is that box called? I think it's outside the box, the mini slimline outside the box. I think that's what this was. Snowdrifts, that's all you need to know. So I cut them out of the one earlier so I could get the stitch lines to match up. So this is how we're going to set our little scene. So cute. It's so cute. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my mini Misty, and I'm going to bring in the MFT Intense Black Hybrid ink, and I'm going to use that to stamp the little images. So again, I am stamping 2 of the bears. I'm going to stamp some of the, like all of the little penguins, and then I'm going to stamp one of the little clouds. And that's kind of how the scene came together in my mind. In my brain. You guys, I really sometimes, like I've told you before, I don't create samples. Like whatever comes out of my head is whatever is created. And sometimes it comes out of my head and it's beautiful and it worked out perfectly and I am so ecstatic with it. And sometimes it doesn't and I have to start all over. Luckily, this one really did kind of live up to my expectations. And I am really glad that it did because it's just one that I really, really love. It will eventually be in the Etsy shop. I know I keep saying that about all of them. It's been a busy couple of weeks. I'm doing this voiceover on October the 16th. And this week on Thursday, I have a new doctor's appointment. I'm going to go see a lipid and metabolic disorders internist or whatever. So that's going to be a new appointment. And then on Friday, I'm doing that 3-hour MRI business. So I am trying to get things ready. And so I have stuff to go up for you guys, which means I haven't had a chance to update the Etsy shop, but it's coming. And I will announce it. I want to get to a point where I'm like updating on Wednesdays or something like that. I just haven't had an opportunity to kind of sit down and breathe and plan anything out at all. Okay, so one bear is going to have a red cap, the other bear is going to have a green cap, and I'm using R59, 46, and 35. This is my favorite red combination. So I'm actually, coloring it's darkest where the, whether it be a shadow or the, it's not fabric, the knit. The knitting would be raised a little bit. Oh my word, my brain. We are finally done with second summer. I think we're finally done with second summer. It, like I said, I'm filming this on Sunday and it was supposed to rain all day. We barely got any rain, but we are going to be like in the 60s finally. Thank goodness. We hit 92 yesterday, you guys. It's been hot in Dallas, and I've been so ready for fall to get here. I can't even stand it. So, yeah. And again, I'm coloring the green the exact same way. This is my favorite green combo. It's YR09, 07, and 05. If you missed it, I colored last week using crayons and baby oils. So you can get really pretty results using only, inexpensive items that you can get at the Dollar Tree. And as I mentioned in that video, you don't even need the good crayons. You can use, the really inexpensive, super waxy crayons because they will work beautifully with the baby oil. And again, you can use baby oil, you can use Gamsol. Either one will work. So, but Gamsol is kind of spendy, and that's why I shared the baby oil. So for the penguins, I'm just doing C7, C5, and I want to say C4. My C3, I need a new one. Oh, C2. I need a new C3. It's broken. I filled it. I thought I filled it up, but then it didn't work. And so I think not the barrel, you know what I'm talking about. The center has dried out. And when that happens, you just have to replace a marker. I wish I figured that out before I put ink in it, but what are you going to do? And for the penguins, they're so super tiny. I'm literally just starting at the bottom and working my way to the top, not really doing a whole lot of blending, but just enough to give it a little bit of dimension. Look how teeny tiny they are. Oh my gosh. And one of them, it's hard to see in this angle, but it's tilted its head to the side. And I'm like, I want to put it in my pocket and I want to keep it for the rest of my life. Penguins are so cute. Penguins are not my favorite. Otters are actually my favorite. And I've loved otters for years and years and years. And I swore at some point I would get over, you know what? I don't even know if it's there anymore, but Grapevine Mills used to have some kind of little aquarium, and they had it where you could go in and hang out with the otters. And I thought that would be so much fun. They're so cute. Both species, the slick ones and the fuzzy ones. I just love them all. So stinking cute. How come there's not any otter Christmas stamps? I bet I could find some clip art on Etsy. Speaking of clip art, so a couple of weeks ago, I asked if you guys would be interested in kits, and I am still kind of considering that. If I don't get a chance to do them for Christmas, we'll do like birthday ones. And the way it'll be colored for you and color with me. So you would have the opportunity to either pick, die cuts that have already been colored, or you would have the opportunity to pick die cuts that are just line art and then watch me color them, or we would do a live. I haven't really decided how all that work. And that's the issue. I need to sit down and figure out logistics. Is this something I can do? How many do I think I can actually offer? Because it's a lot of cutting, etc. And I think I would want to offer at least 3 designs, possibly 4. And everything would already become pre-cut. So you wouldn't have to cut anything. The die cuts would already be cut out. The only thing you would need to do is maybe stamp a sentiment, and I could probably do that too. So let me know in the comments down below if you are someone who would be interested in something like that. What exactly would you like to see in kind of a price point? Because that will also be the issue. I have to figure in ink and paper and cutting and labor and all those other things. I wouldn't want it to be more than like $20. But again, I'm not real sure. So I'm in a planning stage. And like I said, if I don't get around to Christmas kits this year, we can do, I want to do birthday kits and maybe, wedding kits or baby kits, those kinds of things. So we'll see what comes of that. But yeah, I'm not trying, I just don't have the mobility to create something huge and, grow to where I'm selling a ton of stuff or opening my own company or anything like that. It's not really what I'm interested in. I'm really just kind of interested in some extra spending money and those kinds of things. Okay, so I got everything cut out, and I'm bringing in a piece of navy cardstock that measured 4 1/4 by 11. I've squared it at 5 1/2. I'm putting an inside card layer, and then we're going to glue down the front layer. And then I'm going to add some glue to the one that's going to be in the back, because that one's actually going to go down flat. And then the one that's going to be in the front, we're going to add some Scotch foam tape. I hate this new tape. Have I said that enough already? I hate it. It's awful. It's so bad. If this is how it is now, what am I going to do instead? Because this is awful. It's thin. It's super, super sticky. It's really, really hard to work with. And it's just it's like cheap styrofoam. That's what it reminds me of. So, and I think I ended up getting this straight from them because I purchased one that was on Amazon 2 different times, and both times they sent me Velcro. I'm like, that's not it. So clearly they had it marked incorrectly in the warehouse. But yeah, this one I just don't like. I just don't like it. And I have a whole huge roll of it. And that's the issue. It's is this how it is now? Am I just going to have to live with it? Anywho, so I left the top of that snowdrift without any adhesive because I am going to set this little guy into it. So it looks like he's sitting in the snow. And this little guy is going to be popped up on the front. So the part that's going to be where behind the snowdrift is going to have a piece of the tape. And then where he is touching the front snowdrift, I went ahead and just put him down with tape. So I am bringing in the stitched wonky stitch circles, stitch wonky circles, just wonky circles. They're wonky circles from MFT. And initially I did this circle, and then you can see that little tiny one on the left, and I ended up not using that one because it was literally tiny. I mean, these are really tiny penguins, but they're not quite that tiny. So I went ahead and left it in though, because I like to show you guys my mistakes. So I'm just cutting these down to size. I like to use some washi tape. I like to run that on the back of my hand to remove some of the sticky, and then we will go from there. I did not use a sentiment for this for this card. I felt that it could be, you guys know I really like to do cards that could be anything. So this could be, again, it could be, welcome baby card. It could be happy birthday card. It could just be, a winter card. It doesn't have to be Christmas just because it's red and green, because they're penguins. There's not a tree or, ornaments or anything like that you would feel like you would need that for. So I picked out a different circle, and I went ahead and did 2 in the green and 1 in the red. You just kind of loosely follow the sketch. So you could have used like snowflakes. I could have used like any kind of like dots or whatever, but I really wanted to add all of these cute little penguins. So again, the part that's going to hang off, I put the dimensional adhesive on the back and then just added the rest with tape runner, the one that's going to actually touch the paper. And that's so it doesn't collapse in the mail. So if you are someone who like picks up one of my cards, or maybe you make your own card and you feel like it's a little tall and you're concerned about it, just cut down a piece of cardstock to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 and put it on the front of it, and then put it in the envelope. And that way it's less likely to get smooshed. So once I get these little penguins adhered, I'm going to bring in a Nuvo pen, and that's going to be the end of this. So again, I had so much fun with this card. You guys will have to let me know what you think of this one. And again, I'd love your feedback on kits. Is that even something you would want? Are you excited about it? Let me know all of the things down below. And like I said, one would be where you wouldn't have to do anything but glue things down. And one would be where you would have basically the same exact kit, but you would have line art rather than colored ephemera. So that's it. Adding some Nuvo to add a little shimma, and we're going to call this card done. So thank you so much for joining me today, friends. I really do appreciate you. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. I'm uploading every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. as mentioned. I hope you have a good day, night, weekend, wherever you are. I love your faces, and I will see you in my next video. Oh, and fingers crossed, I win the sketch challenge. Okay, bye.